Thanks for staying with us. So with President Bola Tinubu's second anniversary just 4 days away, we are evaluating his ministers' performance. Let's discuss their impact on Nigerians so far. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the standout ministers and those who haven't met expectations. Share your views and reasons with us. You can join the conversation and call us on 02016 352013 or 0902416 3440. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. A few days to May 29, and we now have to start rating the performance of the ministers and the ministries as how or as regards to how it affects us as Nigerians. So sometimes we hear on paper that this ministry is doing this. But now we're going to be talking about it, how it trickles down to the common man. What sort of benefits have we derived from the different ministries? And that's what we're going to be talking about. And I want us to start with maybe the power sector, because we've had so many issues when it comes to electricity in Nigeria. I remember last year we had about 12 grid collapses. A few months, this one will collapse. Before you know, they fix it. The next time again, you hear that there's a collapse. But so far this year, we haven't had a grid collapse. We have this year. Yep. I haven't experienced.
They are not saying it. Does not mean it's not collapsing.
But I think it was even said. I think we've had
okay, but that's just I think once.
Once you don't have lights in your house, grid don't collapse.
No, of course not, of course not. But let's start with the power sector. Adelabu Adebayo, who's been in charge of it. How do you rate his performance so far before he came in, and what you're seeing now that he's in charge of that ministry? Who's ready to start based on your own experience as a Nigerian and how electricity has affected your house?
I don't even want to just do based on how electricity has affected me, because I would be extremely my comments would be a bit harsh, because before this administration, my residential area was under a particular, they didn't call it band A, they call it privilege units, where we pay more and we had more power. And then he came into power and created something called,
democratized it.
He now said it's band A, band B, and all of them now, we now have different bands. And the impact on my community was we now have less power and we are paying more money. So from my personal perspective, I feel like what is done hasn't worked. However, it opened up for other communities that didn't need to organize themselves to get that edge, to simply pay more and get paid more. Get more power in exchange for what they are being paid. But overall, from other people's feedback, is that the power minister has inherited a very, very dilapidated system. And it would require a lot of effort from him for him to have significant progress within 2 years. A lot. I think he tried. I believe there's room for improvement. I feel like we needed a more maybe more agile, like the David Umahi style. They said they vandalized this place. He's there. They said they vandalized this place, and then we see video. It makes us feel that he's working. Maybe his style, which is I've got an opportunity to interview. We've interviewed him once. We've interviewed a few people in the power industry. His style is more of let's dig deep and restructure the real problem. But Nigerians want to see that you are working, sir. We also feel that some of the excuses and challenges, let me not call it excuses, challenges that you are alluding to be the problem why we still have power issues are the same challenges we had before you got in there. So we are expecting that, the problem, you are already there, we shouldn't be discussing how you are going to pay, that you are struggling to pay gas bills, because we don't, that's one of the problem. We're not paying enough. There are agencies that are owing money, military is fighting. There are too many issues under that ministry, sir. You will not sleep because you are a minister. You cannot be sleeping. At all. We are not sleeping inside heat. You cannot sleep. Minister, you need to be going from everywhere. You have to be up and doing it. It's not about your intention, sir. It's about the results we get. And for me, there's room for improvement.
Okay. So in comparison, if we're talking about residential, so for me, to be fair,
it got better.
It got a lot better. It got 80% better.
Whoa.
Yes. Wow. Because we were under an arrangement as well in my estate where we paid more to get more power, but it never happened. People that know my estate know that it seemed like they had sort of put us aside to punish us for whatever reason. But when he came in, and also with the introduction of the bands A, B, C, and whatever, even though it has gotten more expensive, we get power much more often. And when it goes off, you know, for a while, it will come back on nearly immediately. And when it goes off for a long time, it's not like it used to be, where it would just be my estate, but it's something that is widespread. Like, you know, everyone is yes, a grid collapse, or something has fallen, and you know, I've just seen improvement in that regard. But of course, nationwide, we're hearing everywhere else how nothing seemed to have really improved anywhere. And so I think there's something about, you know, the issues with Nigeria. On one side is the competence of the minister himself. Yeah. And based on that, from what I've seen so far, I would say that he seemed like a competent person. He's a competent minister. But I also know this particular ministry, the issues on ground are so deep-seated. The dilapidated infrastructure, the years and years of, you know, the obsolete facilities, the debt, the issues between distributors, and, you know, all those issues. I believe that any other person who comes in there would still face the same issues. What that ministry really does need is like full 100% federal government support, one, and then a review of how to go about this power sector. If we're going to just face alternative power generation, one, then we'll look for how we'll find maybe states start working on their own ways of power generation. I just think that what we have on ground, it's so obsolete, it's not big enough to accommodate the whole of Nigeria, and the issues are just too many. Well, it will need like Jesus to come and to solve it completely. So I think that the minister on his own, given my personal experience, as I said before, I think he's doing a lot better than previous ministers. But I also think that the issues are just too many for him. Too many to be sorted out the way that we're trying to sort it out now. We just have to look for different ways to look at it. Alternative power supply, regional power plants, you know, those sort of things, rural electrification, you know, power plants everywhere, smaller power plants in different areas. I think that that's the best way to handle this.
Even the governors supplying their own power.
Yeah, so I think I agree with Miriam on a lot of things she said. It's a very complicated ministry, and of course he needs a lot of goodwill to be able to make sure that that ministry works well. So I'm going to come from the business point of view. So far, since since he came into power, we have spent more on electricity. Because we are on this, like the bands, the way he did the band, which was a very good, I think it was a good strategy to get the people that paid and all of that. So, but we got there was light. In fact, at some point I was bandless, because I'll be in band A, and then tomorrow I think I'll be moved to band C. Then another week I'll be in band Z. So at the end of the day, you know, we're spending more, and I was spending more on diesel as well, just to make sure that I have electricity to make sure that my production goes on. So now, because of this effect, I have increased my price in my goods. Of course, it has become more expensive. Of course, my customers have filtered, because some will be able to afford, some will not be able to afford. So it has really impacted my business negatively to a large extent.
Work is not yet to lament.
So electricity.
Then is it there's still the vandalization of the poles and everything. You know, some people just come carry the wires away. You just come, you won't have light, and then by the time you come, you see that
they have stolen something.
Yes, so I think they need to do general maintenance on things like that. If it's to bury the cables underground so that people will not be able to reach it, I think he needs more innovations and more, strategies, and people come together and put heads together to make that sector a successful one.
For that electricity sector, I feel that is highly sabotaged because there are people who are barons in the sale of generators. They have made millions, billions, supplying Nigeria generators. They are like a cabal. So if you're going to make sure that everybody has electricity, that means you are knocking them out of business, and they are heavy in this importation. I feel like we are sabotaging ourselves. Yes, even Nigerians are the ones that are doing the business. So we are sabotaging ourselves so that it seems like we have an epileptic power supply so that we can buy generators. You know, you go to places and you don't hear a sound of generator for the duration that you are there. And Nigeria has the capacity to do that. That's on one hand. And I also feel like maybe privatization may just be the way to go, like total privatization, in the sense that the government can always come in when it comes to subsidizing for some specific industries. Let's take the universities, for instance. Many of them have been out of power because they could no longer pay the huge increment in electricity tariff. The hospitals, those are places where government can come in and subsidize. Yes. Now, for the general people, if they open it, it will be painful initially. We will have to pay more initially, but then market forces. See what is happening with our field right now, where Dangote is refining, people are still bringing in, and everybody's fighting to reduce the prices. So if we do electricity like that, and we are paying our, what's it called? You pay as you go, not that they are giving us estimated billing. In fact, my mom called me a few days ago that they sent it. She has been on prepaid meter for a very long time. They now sent a bill for her to come and pay. And she was wondering how. I've been using and paying as I go. So where is this bill coming from? So those are some of the issues that I feel we're not really helping ourselves. We find a way to sabotage the government, then we come behind and cry that government is not working. We all need to work together in this. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we'll go into another ministry. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. So we're still, is this scoring now or grading some of the ministries? And because of time, we'll be taking it one so that we can touch as many ministries as we can. I also like you to call in and share your thoughts on how you think the ministries have worked so far. So Miriam, ready?
Well, so to be fair, the one minister that has been in the ears of Nigerians, it's been quite popular, not only for his utterances, but also for his work, is who is it? Wike, FCT minister. And really, you know, I've heard this across board, which is the improved infrastructure in Abuja. He has revitalized, you know, the infrastructure. We heard about a lot of the roads that had the previous administration just left halfway done. Some bridges, I think, you know, and many people, I remember, these were just regular people on the street giving him his flowers, you know, commending him for the work. And you know him, when he works, he will also come out to tell you what he has done. You know, there's some people, they'll say, we have been working, go and check it. This one, he will tell you, as he's doing it, he will tell you. And so I have seen on TV, I've heard regular Nigerians on the ground saying, yes, when it comes to infrastructure, he's done that. I hope I'm not mistaken, but they said he's completed the Abuja light rail. Right.
Yeah, I think yes.
So and that he did within 6 months. He's improved, you know, the road networks. A lot of people have said that. There's also the Civil Service Commission also, where he prioritized, you know, security, revenue generation. There's just so many things I've seen, you know, in the papers, and over the course of our newspaper reviews, you constantly see what he's doing.
All the time.
Yeah, so for me, that's one person, you know, without having to go and look through, you know, beyond surface level what he's done. He seems to have done quite a bit. And, you know, there's one thing about when we talk about Nigeria, the work that we're doing in Nigeria, just like earlier today, when Tucker was reading, the indices look so great. Our economy is booming. I was looking at her because just today or a few days, people have called me and saying, what is happening in this country? Things are so tough. So sometimes indices does not match reality. But with Wike at the, you know, in the FCT, it seems that, you know, what he's done, Nigerians can pinpoint and say that they have seen that he has really worked.
Yeah, so we have a call on the line, God's Power from Agege. God's Power, are you there? Oh, sorry, we lost him.
All right. So for me, just to add to what she said concerning Wike, the truth is, Nyesom Wike also, similarly like the last minister we analyzed, inherited a system that seemed not to work. Like there seemed to be a lot of issues with the FCT. The former minister of FCT, we did not see him, we didn't hear anything from him. Abuja had street lights were not working. There were many things that could be used as excuse by the minister not to perform, but he's one that is very bullish with performance, and like I said, we need those kind of ministers, and I know we can't have everybody be like that, but it's important, especially because every minister, there will be something they have not done. They cannot finish everything that needs to be done within 4 years. So you need to work and be seen to be working. And that is something that you can tick for Nyesom Wike to have done. We also, another person that fits into that is Minister of Works, David Umahi. He's someone that you can be seen to be working. One cannot take away, actually, if you're in Lagos, what happened with those of us on the island where we had that terrible traffic. That happened because they dug up a section of the road, and by every calculation it would take 2 to 3 weeks before it is resolved, and it came in days. It came in hours. It was like, we would do it, and he landed and they said no, it cannot be done. What he's saying is not possible. They've already dug. I saw with my Tukonokoro eye, they had dug up that place, and he said it can be done, and he showed up and he stayed with them, and it got done. That is what we need. Has he fixed all the road in Nigeria? No. Not. Will he be able to fix it? He doesn't even have the money to do it. They will not give him as much money as he needs. But when he's able to work and be seen to be working, when we're able to see other ministers like that if you do any bad road, he's going to come and say, I'm withdrawing your contract, you will not get paid, I'm going to cancel. That is the kind of level of work that our ministers need to put in play for us to see proper development in the country. I know we have a caller, Tolu from Egbeda. Good morning, Tolu, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you for speaking with me. I just want to mention one or two things about the... Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yes. This is Tolu from Egbeda. Your program is very interesting, and I've been a keen follower of your program, you know.
Oh, thank you.
So we can hear you. My issue is with the power sector.
Okay.
I love that you guys started with them. Those people need to just put themselves together. Because the band A, band B, band Z, and band whatever, I don't understand what it means. You are giving me, let everything be on the same tariff. Just like we use our mobile phones, MTN. It is dependent on the usage. It is dependent on the usage. If I have light for 24 hours, let me pay for 24 hours. If my light is only for 10 hours, let me pay for 10 hours at the same tariff. So MTN is, say, for instance, 4 naira per minute. If I decide to lose 10 naira and to load 10,000 and use it in a day, it's on me. If I load 10,000 and use it for 1 month, it's on me. So I don't know why the band A will pay so much and you are giving me the same quality. It's not as if the voltage is higher than the other one. What is the difference or the extent of this band A, band B, band C, band D? Let everybody be on the same tariff. This is just pure daylight robbery. And even those on band A, we are not even having the light for 24 hours.
No, meant to be 24.
Which area
so do
you stay?
It's 20 hours.
Sorry?
Egbeda, she said Egbeda.
Yes, from Egbeda.
Okay.
Sometimes we can go 3 days without light, and I'm supposed to be on band A.
I am band A. That's like a fake band A. We have to investigate that your band A.
That your band A needs to be investigated.
You know? So there's a lot they should do. They should cancel that band, whatever. Give us the flat rate and let everybody just, move with it.
Yeah. But you don't mind the cost reflective tariff, Abby?
Just give us the power.
The cost what?
Cost reflective tariff. So, government is still finding a way to subsidize it for us. Should they remove the subsidy so that they can make money?
You're not seeing any subsidy.
You're not seeing any subsidy. All right, thank you so much for your contribution.
Let's enjoy it. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, that is gentleman Ali Pati. Ali Pate is
Do you know
from
him
Yobe.
personally? Why are you adding gentleman to his
He's
name?
a gentleman.
Okay, go ahead.
He's from Yobe State, and so far...
This is Nigeria. Don't say gentleman.
I don't even know.
See, they're attacking me, Mr. Yobe, Mr. Ali Pate. Okay, so far they said he has rehabilitated a lot of primary health care centers, especially in the rural areas, and that's the one for me. Yes, and even though there are no pictures, but the numbers are there. They said 37 million Nigerians have accessed medical care so far, and again, almost especially the maternal mortality rate has really reduced. They said he has made sure that they got antenatal for free, and some even went for CS. Like they had about 4,000 women who have had CS for free, in those rural areas most especially. And also they said he has also made sure that vaccines have been given to all those people in the rural areas as well.
But
Made
still
sure
behind
that
on
yes,
that,
because and again he has improved on infrastructure. The infrastructure, the hospital equipment that he has brought in, modern day equipment in most of the hospitals, and even the healthcare centers. I'm very particular about the healthcare centers because those are the ones that are the, where the people who are really who can't afford, proper medical care, so they are all there and everything. However, in all of these things, the only obstacle he has, he was even recognized in the UK. I think Times they even mentioned him. However, the obstacle he faces is that there are still doctors who are japping, and nurses leaving the country. I think he needs to make more efforts in, bring out more strategies or something to make sure that at least they stay, maybe increase their salaries or something just to make them stay because, of course, they are attracted with what's happening.
They need better incentives.
Yes, so all of that. But so far, so good. He has been doing very well in the sectors and in that sector, in the health sector. And we are hoping that, because there are no pictures, no figures yet.
See the pictures.
People are talking, people are saying, people are really
So I would like people to
him.
call in and talk about their access to healthcare, because I also saw it in the papers. But it's not just about the government.
Before you give your input, let us rest a little. When we come back, Topwell will be ready to jump. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're still looking at the scorecard of the ministers, and you wanted to say something.
My wonderful colleague here was talking extensively about the Ministry of the Minister for Health, and I was wondering, a lot of governors are also taking credit for the number of the upgrade of the primary healthcare centers in their states. So also are foreign agencies that support Nigeria taking credit for the infrastructural development in primary healthcare centers. So at face value, I look at it and say, the Minister of Health has a lot more work to do. It might get the awards, it might get the accolades, but the problem is huge. The impact is the majority of Nigerians can't access quality healthcare. The hospitals are not available. I still had an emergency situation that happened within last week where a patient was taken to 2 hospitals before now ended up in the 3rd hospital, and the person actually still died because the delay in getting treatment led to the fact that by the time he was going to get treatment, there wasn't even blood. Later, they put drip. They were looking for blood everywhere. So a lot of Nigerians still die, on avoidable deaths because of lack of access to quality healthcare. So if we are judging based on metrics, it can't be because of there's a whole lot that needs to be done. Like I said, all our ministers, you need to become like FCT and you have to show up. You have to show evidence. You have to come with your strong, show the workings. Strong reason. We need to see what you have done. We need to go to the hospitals and be able to say that you need to visit hospitals in Communica. Like nobody will know you are there. You are wearing the jeans and shirts, and you show up there, and you capture what is really going on. Because if you are working based on reports, what Nigerians are feeling is different from the report that the Minister of Health is getting. I want to talk about the Minister for Aviation as well, Festus Keyamo. My eyes have been on you since the beginning of your administration because I travel a lot and the basis for even across Africa, we must not rate ourselves. True. You know, let's not rate ourselves because some people are acknowledging mediocrity as achievements. I'm like, hello, I have gone through the hospital, the airports just last month at the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, our main airport, not the new Terminal 2. When your luggage comes in, the local grinder, like that's error logging. I don't even know that's the noise because we want to collect luggage. It was, and then we were waiting, and the place was so hot. Then you are repairing the airport, but this is the airport. Airport is like your first point
impression
of is the first impression, and the repair of the airport, the road, they broke down the road that you would walk, the pathway you would walk through to the plane, and like the floor was left with sand. So like you are rolling your luggage on sand. Oh, no. They're like, it's like you don't understand what it means to be excellent. And this is the airport. We cannot do anything less than excellent. It gives an impression if the first thing people see about you is disorganized. Now, have there been improvements? I'll attribute that to the Ministry of Interior because the organization of when you come in, how the immigration treats you, it's smoother. So I would give that one to Interior, Oga Festus Keyamo, Minister of Aviation. There is room for improvement. The local flights, they are in crisis. They are in economic crisis. There is a lot of our insurance companies are not paying them. When they delay flights, Nigerians are left to sort themselves. You've gone to the airport, you drove an hour to the airport, to Abuja airport, and your flight was cancelled, and they tell you sort yourself, come back tomorrow, and you just have, as like there's room for improvement, sir. You need to. Yeah,
we have a call on the line.
Double up. It's a lot of work.
I don't know if you're still there. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning. My name is Olumide. Yes, I'm calling right here in Abuja in Jabi.
Okay.
You see, it is on the loud obvious that we are seeing the work of my honorable minister. We are seeing it so loud. You see, I understand that we want miracles and magic in Nigeria. You see, I want to urge our people that we should be so careful about the kind of miracles and magic we want. Lest we have some politicians deceive us. We have a person in position of the SPC administration who is not ready to deceive anybody. He wants us to see the workings while he's doing it. So likewise, the one who appointed him the president. You see, I understand it is hard. Some way, somehow, I want to believe that what they are doing now is just the basics and the fundamental foundation. And those who are in structural engineering understand what foundation is. The kind of foundation given to a structure determines the building that will stand on it. I'm chopping it too, but we have to be patient with this government. Let me pray for my honorable minister. It will be better for you, it will be better for you, Thank you very much.
Thank you, Olumide.
Thank you, Mr. President, for giving us here some weekend.
That's so sweet. You must really be. This is somebody from Abuja. Yes, so But I wanted to add something to the Aviation Minister, Festus Keyamo. I know that the airport is a lot better than how it used to be before, but it still hasn't met with international standards. Like you rightly said, when you land in a country, your first impression of that country is the airport, how it looks, the beauty of everything. You go to some airports and you are in awe. Everything is working. The ACs are working. The toilets are clean. There's a tissue paper in the toilets. You can confidently use the restroom without any issues. And then, the baggage, the queuing and all of that is seamless. So there's actually queue all over the world when people are waiting for their baggage. Nigerians just need to be a bit more patient on that. But if everything is seamless, your baggages are coming out. Yeah, if the ACs are working and you're not sweating, you can confidently stand in line and wait for your baggage to come out. So there still needs a lot. There's a lot more that needs to be done in the airport. I'm looking forward to when I will land the airport and I'm like, is this Nigeria? I want to have that feel, you know, because we actually have a lot of guests who are coming in. And we go to smaller countries that don't even have anything. And their airports are way finer and better than what we have here. We need to work on that. Then the fact that we also do not have Nigerian air as big as our country. We don't even have our own. Wait now, it's painful. You will see a small country here.
They have not finished investigating the scam of the last one.
That was a scam.
When they took us for a ride.
That was crazy.
We allowed
we were plane was brought in, painted Nigerian color, and it was a lie. It was a scam.
And we have not finished investigating. We never dig.
So only in Nigeria.
Where do we get this right? Nigeria is too big not to have their own airline.
Yeah.
You want to go to another
ministry?
Africa. Because I wanted to go to Ministry of Education.
Okay, then we'll do agriculture when we're done. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I like the agriculture.
We have to. Which one do we start?
Agriculture. Which one?
Agriculture education.
Because we still actually have a major. You see, the thing is, there are a few things that are like the.
Hold on a bit. I think we have a caller from the UK. Then I come to you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
We're doing amazing, sir.
My name is Cash.
Cash.
Sorry. Yes. Firstly, I like all of you. You are doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
At the same time, I would like to give a kudos to Topper. All of you are trying. Even I will put Topper. I will give her name now as Babajide Otitoloju. So it's her new name.
Oh,
okay. She said a lot of truth about Nigeria. I like the way she spoke about health sectors and the way people are lamenting. To be honest, I don't know there will be any improvement in health sectors because health sectors already in a sense. You know, people are suffering too much. The price of drugs are too much. There are some areas that government has to help us to look into. To be honest, not everything about money. We need essential things. Are you getting me? And actually, regarding Band A, Band B, Band B, I'm sorry if I mention Fashola, our former governor in Lagos State. In fact, I was very disappointed for, sort of discrimination by saying that she was Band B, Band C. I mean, if you let people enjoy, not to see Band B and Band C, none of them is enjoying electricity. See what she has already done. Which country has already gone out? Come on, she has come and tell us which country has seen people are doing Band A, Band B on electricity. Not any country in the world, only Nigeria. I mean,
unique solution for our unique challenges.
It's very bad. But Fashola, it seems to me, I've been telling my people that Fashola, governor, Fashola, sorry, it's not from poor people, which is very
it's breaking now.
Many people getting houses among the housing schemes he did. Look, let me thank you, especially for mentioning what is how the primary health sectors and health sectors in general.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for letting people know that the government do that. Thank you.
Thank you,
he gave you a name. What's the name? What's the name of the name?
He nicknamed me after Mr. Otitoju.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you were going to say
so regarding
education.
I was only saying that there are metrics with which you used to judge that a country is developing. You know, you look at no country can survive without education. You can't survive without food. You know, you can't survive if you're not even alive. So like the healthcare, the food, the education, they are crucial for development. Yes, people can survive if they are not good roads. It's challenging, but they will survive. They will survive if the aviation sector is not working. Yeah, we would love to fly. We would love to fly, but if aviation does not work, people will still survive. If there is education, later, the educated citizens will build the aviation sector. They will build the road. They will build everything. Right now, for us to have any substantial development, we need to go and meet China, and we'll be begging Western world. It's an achievement to say that we have traveled to go and sign a bipartisan relationship. That's because our educational sector is not churning out the solution to the Nigerian problem. And yet we are not actively investing into the education sector. I am going to applaud NELFund as an initiative. However, the NELFund as an initiative is ensuring that people can afford to pay for school fees. But the bigger issue hasn't necessarily been about school fees. So it's like when they say, if this is a problem, but we're now solving another problem, but not solving the core problem. Not the problem. The core problem is the fact that we have, as we are complaining about health sector, you don't know how many professors are leaving Nigeria. Actually, if they put pen to paper to take note of the number of professors and graduates or people doing their PhD that are leaving this country, it is as much as our medical migration. We do have a lot of lecturers leaving. We have public university now is like, don't even bother. Everybody is opening private university everywhere. Private public secondary schools are like an eyesore. Like, there is a lot that needs to be done with the educational sector, and the core of what the ministers oversees is university and secondary schools, and we need to get it right within the secondary school area. So for me, the Minister of Education needs to become more active and more on ground. Visit the schools, see the buildings. We don't even need buildings. We need the teachers to be. We need to embrace technology. The teachers need to know what they are teaching. Teachers need to love their job.
The buildings need to be conducive too.
We can learn on it. We can learn on it because 2025, most ministers find it easy to show you buildings. But who are the teachers?
We don't even see buildings. There are places you don't even see good buildings.
No, but they need
dilapidated buildings for
teachers.
teachers.
We have to look at.
Sweethearts, we have to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll dissect this further.
Okay.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're still talking about the Ministry of Education.
Yes, I wanted to say, for the Ministry of Education, I think, as you said, a lot of work needs to be done. But also, I think we need to start looking at it differently, especially when we're talking about basic education. And I'm saying this because in Lagos State, I'm working with an NGO, SIDS, and really what they do is, just stand in the gap for schools that are not government schools. We call them, they're low-income schools. And these schools just help to, sort of provide some succor for those who are unable to get to some of the government schools. Government can only do so much. You don't have, I think in Lagos, I'm not sure the number. I don't want to give out a figure that I'm not sure of, but just it's not enough. It's not as widespread as it should be. So we have local low-income schools that are in between, and people go to these schools and get their education. So what I'm saying is the federal government may not be able to be everywhere, right? Especially in the rural communities. I'm not talking of these cities where we have expensive private schools, rural communities. And the way that I'm seeing education going now, when I'm even reading what people are doing abroad, a lot of people are looking at schools differently. You don't have to have that full infrastructure to have a running school. People are looking at different times during the day that you can be in school. So then I would like for us to look at, as Nigeria as it is, these rural areas. Can we, I know there used to be a time where we'll be so infuriated because some children are learning under trees or things like that. But first of all, let's get them the education.
Exactly.
There was a time, I don't know if it's still there, the nomads, the Fulani nomads used to get, wherever they went, their children were able to join any form of school and get education. Not the Almajiris, I'm even talking of the nomads. And they'll still get an education. Because sometimes we are waiting for that structure to be built before we start educating our children. And there's just so much that I'm afraid of, that if we have a generation of Nigerians that grow up to be adults and never got any education, we're in trouble.
It's crisis.
Exactly. So let's look at it differently. And then if we're saying, all children should be in school, what I see in Nigeria, we have children who are, for many reasons, not that it's right, but they're helping their parents do one sort of job or the other. Can we have schools that make sure that they also provide vocational teaching, vocational education, so that our children are learning these books and they're also training for a job going forward. There's this we seem to be held back only by what the Western world tells us to do. Yes, this is our country. We know what our peculiarities are. What can we do differently going forward? So I would like to say the minister or any minister of education, the present one and the ones to come, to say when they sit down, to say this is what I would like to, we would like to do things a bit differently so that education is really widespread. It gets to everyone.
Not building, spending your majority of your budget on building infrastructure, and there is no teacher that is going to go to the place and
you can't maintain it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't maintain. So you take all the whatever you need to go and build a school in a place that there's no ecosystem to maintain that building.
No good roads.
And then you go away. Then you come back another 4 years when you're looking for votes, and then the whole thing has fallen apart. So we need to be much more proactive, and it's not just for the educational, education. It's just everything, even our health sector. We're seeing these days this telemedicine where people from different places are able to still get access to doctors because of the phones. So this is what we need to
mobile hospitals.
There are just too many ungoverned areas in our country. True. Many of the things that we see here and we talk about and we're so happy, rural women are getting primary health care. There are some rural areas, they don't even know what you're talking about
till today. So I like this aspect that you took us to, and that's, we've always said that one of the reasons we do not solve our problems is because we're not taught to critically think of solutions.
Yes.
We are always waiting to do what the West is doing. They have gone way ahead of us. We can't catch up. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. We can only look back and ask ourselves, how do we solve this peculiar problem in our own way? Growing up, we used to have evening schools.
Yes.
For people who, maybe in the morning, they have to help their mothers do some trading, some akara selling and everything. And in the afternoon to evening, they go for their classes. And that's okay. As long as they're able to be prepared to write their examinations. Why don't we have that? We disenfranchise those people because they can't make it in the morning.
It's because
in different places. Now also, the governors are very lazy when it comes to education, because why they do that is their own words are not schooling in our schools, so they are not feeling what we feel. Their words have opportunity to go to the best of schools outside the country, so they are not looking down. SUBEB was created to be able to get funds for primary education. Right now, many governments, I think the last report we read about it, many governments are not able to, because SUBEB has said, we'll give you so and so amount of money when you bring so and so. I think, is it 50% or what the ratio? Many states are not even looking to even raise funds to be able to meet up and collect what SUBEB is giving for free. That's free money that would help your educational system in your state. They are not cashing in on it. After all, their kids and their words,
like I said, there are
not
few areas that
so we need.
Can I add something? Like in the north, we have education is our major problem to a large extent and everything. Can we now be learning? We must not learn in English. Can we learn in our own native language?
That's another one.
Exactly. So in our own native language, instead of telling them to go to school, because most of my people, they are really discouraged because they have to go and learn English. Again. But if you are now communicating to them in the language that they understand, I think there will be more people who will go to school than because I hear you, but a lot of people.
Let me take a call, then I come to you. We have Wale on the line. Good morning, Wale.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. We can hear you.
There's a correction I want to make amongst all of you. When you are speaking about education, how many ministers of education do you think there are?
Can you hear? How many ministers of education do you think we have? Each state has a commissioner for education.
We have one minister of education.
Yes.
That is for the federation.
Yeah.
We are operating a unit. You can't put the entire criticism on what representing government. What happens to the commissioner of education? Let's look at, for example, how many federal secondary schools do you think we have in Lagos compared to the number of state secondary schools? So if you are going to criticize constructively
That's what we're doing now. I mentioned governors of their states taking charge of their educational systems.
Aviation is operated majorly by federal government. And I understand your criticism. Agriculture is not operated mainly by federal government or the entire federation. So when you are talking about the center, distribute it to the governor and to the chairman of local government. Don't just centralize. That's my contribution, please.
Thank you, Mr. Wale. Yes. We did not listen completely because we just mentioned Subeb and the states. Yes. So we've covered
and governors.
Yes. But it's also important, just also for conversation's sake, you know, we believe really that, you know, sometimes we should focus on the states and the local government. But today it just happened that we're talking about ministers. And even though, yes, the minister is one person, he works with the commissioners as well.
Yes.
You know, so is there a federal government policy that has been put in place that the commissioners are refusing to push? So that's another thing, yes. So we know that they work hand in hand. And if there are things that they are not doing in the state, I know that at the federal level, they have like oversight to see what is happening in the states and also bring them.
Everybody will be held. In fact, when something happens, they come to the house, they will hold the father. So everybody.
And today we're talking about the father.
The father.
Yes, exactly.
But you wanted to say something about
what about the Minister of Women Affairs?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Before the former Minister of Women Affairs, the former one that was there was a hair where she was all over everywhere, and then the new one was announced, and that's
like she went to sleep.
No, we're not seeing her.
We're not seeing her.
Yes.
We're not seeing anything.
I feel that, you know, when you are taking a position that was already held by a very active, vibrant person, it sort of puts pressure on the new person. Barrister Ojukwu, I don't know the reason for her removal. There are some ministers, and when she was removed, I said on the show that I did not understand the reason. We wanted to know and we were not told, which was wrong, because you should have informed us. If you are removing a minister, let there be open metrics on why the ministers are being removed and why they are being replaced. For me, Barrister Ojukwu was very active. She spoke concerning women. She was passionate. She was up and about everywhere, fighting for the rights of women, with the energy that we need in this season.
Exactly.
So the current Minister for Women Affairs is on a personal, she's on a personality level, she's a more reserved person. So we might not expect her to be Uju Kennedy for us, but we still need to know what she's doing. And especially,
could they use their PR? So you don't necessarily have to be the one coming out.
So it's okay to have different personalities.
Yes, that's why I said that.
So as much as we enjoy Wiki, sometimes when he says something, we're like, I can't believe you just said that.
But at least you can see what he's doing.
You have a call?
Yeah, I have a call. I'll come to you. Good morning. Are you there? We lost the call.
Yeah. So the new Minister for Women Affairs, I remember too, I was quite shocked when Uju Kennedy was taken off, because she was, I mean, every day we sat on this table, we had something to do, to say. And there were some things that people even thought that maybe she didn't do so right because she did it so publicly. And for me, I didn't even think that was wrong anyway, because then you can even see your mistakes and get to correct them, right? This minister, the one who took over from her, I need to be honest, I haven't really heard much. I've looked through, while we're researching to see what she's done. There are lots of initiatives that are being attributed to her office. To her and her office. And their initiatives. We don't know about implementation. One of the things that make Uju Kennedy so popular, remember she would go to schools, a bullying is happening, she's there. They are doing
anything. That's what you should be doing.
You've come together to do something, and she thinks that it's a waste of government's money. So, and a lot of people thought, this is not under your jurisdiction, do your job. But we felt like, finally we're
saying it.
We're finally seeing something. So also with Nigerians, what do we want? Like, do we want silent work and then we'll see the work? Or we just want someone to come and just tell
We're noisy people.
We're noisy
Make
people.
noise fast.
We'll
take a short break here. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're still talking about the Minister for Women Affairs. What do you have to say?
Yes, so I wanted to say that the Minister for Women Affairs, this current Minister for Women Affairs, she's a rather young person. And I feel that, one, you're a woman, two, you are young, you can't fall our hand. There is a whole lot of clamor for us to have younger people in position of leadership. There needs to be a lot more agility on her path. Like, she needs to do more. Physically, she needs to speak more. And even if she's not a public speaking person, she needs to get
a
PR team that is engaged with ensuring she's working. Nigeria still is largely, women are underrepresented, largely. And so we cannot afford to have a Ministry of Women Affairs that is not actively pushing the cause of women. So my own is to encourage. You're there. You're currently serving as a minister. We don't want. I'm partial. I don't want to bash the Minister for Women Affairs. I always like to support women at any point in time. I would give that support. So my conversation for her is
also
we will critique to help you know that there is a gap, and that it will be very important that you fill that gap in a short while, so that other opportunities will open up for other women based on how well you have done in that position. Can we go to agriculture now?
Yes, so please.
Because we're still importing food.
Yes, we spent over $10 billion US on importation, and we have the capacity to
have land, we have
grow our own food. We have the capacity. We have vast lands. We have vegetation. We have
when I think of Minister of Agric and we say food, we don't have food sustainability. We're not sustainable. We don't have a. Nigeria can't feed itself.
Yeah, right now.
And
it's not
yes, we're not self-sufficient when it comes to food. It's not necessarily a Greek minister's fault alone, because largely the biggest problem we have is that many farmers cannot go to their farm. There's insecurity, farmer header clash, but still within that space there is a large inconsistency. We've had inconsistency of policies. Oh, we want to do ruga makes sense. This would help with reducing grazing, which leads to farmer header clashes.
We now have another ministry, livestock ministry.
Yes, and yet we do not have proper execution of these amazing ideas that we've had. So the ideas are coming in trickles. We would acknowledge in it, we would read the papers and we'll celebrate the ideas. There will be flag off ceremony for amazing ideas and white paper documents that have been produced that will solve our problem in 5-10 years, and then 5 years after we did not see where there was no implementation. So this minister, there are enough documents that can change our agricultural sector. It just needs to pick one of them and follow it.
Okay. Before I come to you, we have Kehinde from Ajagunle. Kehinde, are you there?
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
You people are doing wonderful work.
Thank you, sir.
God will continue to bless you.
Amen.
You see, I want to contribute now. My name is Prophet Kehinde from Ajagunle. I travel a lot. I always be in Abuja. But what I want to tell you about most ministers, the important ministers are not much, they are few. Like the minister of Abuja, Wilson Wike, he's talking everywhere in Abuja. I used to be in Abuja most times, 2 or 3 times in a month. So I saw the good work he has been doing. When you go to Abuja 1 month or 2 months, after when you go there, you will see total changes again.
Okay.
So he's doing well. Our Omeya, the minister for Umayi, he's doing wonderful well. But the education minister, they are not doing anything. It shows.
Education.
The education minister of education. I could not remember his name. They are not doing well. They are not doing anything.
That's his name.
Yes, they are not doing. I told you last Saturday in your program. Go to schools. You will see how lavish our school is.
Yeah.
How bad our school is. We are seeing it now. The minister of Aviation is not doing anything. Because when you go to the airport, look at where we are waiting for our luggage.
Yeah.
It's different with the other airports in the world. I've been in South Africa, I've been in UK.
I know you can't.
You understand me? At least, even in the abroad where we go, in Jerusalem, my way, last, the study is free. Yeah, they are collecting money. They are not doing anything. It's a lot was. Listen, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, sir. I think I do.
They say you know.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Kehinde. We have to go on another short break. When we come back, we'll find a way to wrap up this conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Welcome back.
We're talking about
agriculture.
Agriculture, and I was going to say that for me, the last Minister of Agriculture that really stood out for me was Audu Ogbe.
Okay.
I remember at the time he had, brought in
policies.
His name. Yes, the policies that it was during his time that we started doing like big exports of yams. You remember? Only that, of course, being Nigeria now, the yams were now left at the port at those point, and then they went bad. But it was something, and we thought he was a good Minister of Agriculture. I think that was also when we had all the conversations about Ruga or no Ruga and things like that. But it was a ministry at that time that conversations were happening. Nigerians were hearing their complaints being addressed. And you're so right. As of today, the Minister for Agriculture cannot work without the Defense Minister. Yeah. They have to work hand in hand. Right. I took a story today and was just giving us a breakdown from 2023 to 2025 this year. We've lost hundreds of farmers, people who are just doing their jobs, going to farm to farm, to feed their family and to feed the nation. And they just go like that. And every day we tell them, sorry, we move on. While bandits are coming in and out, rampaging and doing all sorts of things. So definitely, food security is threatened because of what we're going as a country. So the Minister of Defense really needs to step up. I know a lot of people say it's only one minister, we have commissioners, but especially concerning security, it's at that level that we'll see any policies as well as implementation of those policies carried out. Then also, because we're talking about education, agriculture, I just thought to put in environment as well. We have the Ministry of Environment, and one of the things that struck me recently after his review that they did was the fact that the ministry is complaining about very low amount of funds that they get. So they have a budget, but they get maybe like 8% of their budget.
Just enough to pay salaries.
So, and we're talking about a ministry that has pushed a lot of policies, forward. They're looking at better waste disposal. There are a few things. There's something I really wanted to talk about. They're pushing for this is the Ogoni cleanup. Remember the long... The cleanup of that,
yes. But the government is supposed to do counterpart funding that
so those are the things, I feel they are really important projects. We're talking about portable water schemes, carbon market prep. There are just so many things that they are on their list that they would like to push out. Let me add something. Funding is a big issue for that ministry, as I've heard. And I feel that we should please encourage that.
Okay, so let me add something. So I think if we make our farms more mechanized, you understand, because during the break we're talking about how some of the farmers were being given incentives and now they are now doing very well. But now their produce now they are now doing more exports. They are exporting it, and thereby causing scarcity within Nigeria.
Hey, go and plant your own ginger in your backyard.
We're not saying but we need to have exactly. So he may be having...
We have ginger. It's now more expensive. That's just
many farmers.
There's ginger in the market.
So many things that
ginger is still scarce.
Food expensive.
Yes, transportation.
We still have ginger. It's just expensive. Yeah, your final words.
My final words is, today is the day for ministers. Maybe tomorrow or next tomorrow we'll deal with governors. But all our ministers, your good intention, though we cannot see it, we appreciate that you have good intention, but we need you to follow up the good intention with extreme action. Like we need action ministers, people who are agile. If you are not feeling fine, resign. If your heart is doing you bim bim when you hear news reports, resign.
If you cannot do the work,
if you cannot do the work, if you cannot be on the road about to inspect and check things, please
it's
resign.
not for you. Yes.
We need active ministers. The country is in a lot of crises. We cannot deceive ourselves.
My final word: protect our farmers.
Yes.
Protect our farmlands, protect our farmlands
from bandits and the rest. So I know that the Central Results Delivery and Coordination Unit will be presenting the president the scorecard of the ministers. So what we have tried to do is to check them metric by metric, but I don't know the metrics they're going to use to present to the government, and I don't know what is going to
how they have
implemented it here. So, and I don't know what the president will be doing for ministers who have not performed. I know that we have just 2 years before the 2027 elections.
Last year, they sent them off now.
Yes, but we have about 2 years. I don't know the angle or the direction the president will be going. However, I would like to appeal that they do not focus so much on 2027 elections and forget to do the work. We still have 2 years to be able to make some changes.
Have you not seen campaign?
I know, but once campaign starts like this, side by side,
and it starts now.
You're doing your work and then you're still finding time to do your campaigns. Please, we need at the minimum after the extra 2 years.
One party system, everybody.
If I don't do my campaign, my opposition is busy doing campaign.
So who will not do the work that you're supposed to do for the next?
Exactly, and it's the work that will end you the
it's
votes.
So unfair.
Anyway.
But thank you so much, ladies, for your beautiful contributions. That's all we can take on today's show. We'll see you again tomorrow. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye now.